Yes, it will be recorded. Let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So the topic is chatbots for digital marketers. We are only going to talk about chatbots in general and not about the platform BotBaba. So as most of you must be knowing that I'm the founder of BotBaba. It's a chatbot platform, but still we will be talking only about chatbots in general. So I hope everyone knows what are chatbots, right, to begin with. Yeah, I assume you all must be aware. Okay, so there are certain chatbot channels. So chatbots can work on web, they can work on WhatsApp, Facebook, Line, Telegram, Slack, Skype, etc., etc. There are so many more channels which I have mentioned here. There are like Microsoft Teams and few others like Viber also has chatbot APIs. And we will be covering two channels today, web and WhatsApp. So there are two types of chatbots to begin with. There are NLP-based chatbots. So NLP-based chatbots are those which are open-ended bots. For example, if we deviate a bit from chatbots to voice bots, we have Siri, we have Alexa, we have Google, we have OK Google. So all those are like open-ended chatbots. So you ask anything to them in natural language. Okay, my Google responded. Yeah, you ask anything to them, you type in anything, and the bot is supposed to respond back. So that is NLP. NLP stands for Natural Language Programming. Natural Language Processing or Programming. I get confused between the other NLP. Okay, so they are the open-ended chatbot platforms. Open-ended chatbots are the, and users can type in their own natural language, like type in "How are you?" and the bot will respond, "I'm good. How about you?" And secondly, we have flow-based chatbots. Flow-based chatbots are close-ended bots. So user cannot like ask anything, whatever they want to them. And they are mostly purpose-based chatbots. For example, there can be a chatbot for e-com, for taking e-com order. There can be a chatbot for lead qualification. There can be a chatbot for providing only customer support, handling only customer support queries. There can be a chatbot for telling the user that what all services a particular brand provides. So those are flow-based chatbots. Flow-based or rule-based, they are interchangeably used for these types of chatbots. So there are certain rules that if user types this or presses this button, it will take them to the next flow. And BotBaba is like a flow-based platform, but NLP is pluggable. We can also use certain tools. Dialogflow is one of them, to integrate with BotBaba to create NLP-based chatbots as well. Okay, so these are the two types of chatbots available in the market. Moving on, our focus today is going to be flow-based and purpose-oriented chatbots. There is one main reason for this, and that is the one main reason why BotBaba is focused only on flow-based. So there was a white paper released by Amazon and Google together 2 years back, which said that the NLP technology, the language processing technology, is not that advanced yet to be used like full-fledged, like standalone usage of that is not possible yet. So that is one main reason. You can see like in the Amazon shopping app, even the customer support is a flow-based chatbot and not open-ended chatbot where the user can type in any kind of query. So if you open the Amazon shopping app, go to the customer support section, you will see a flow-based bot even there. So even after having so much of infrastructure, Amazon is still following flow-based things because it keeps the budget low. It is easier to build and keeps the options very limited. Like there are only 5 things that a user can do in a flow-based bot. So the processing power required is also very low and it is cost effective. Yeah, so focus is going to be flow-based and purpose-oriented chatbots today. Areas where chatbots are being used. So there are, you can talk about many different agencies, but when we talk about like business areas where chatbots can be used, so they are mostly marketing, servicing, and operations. We'll be looking into all three of them very shortly. So there is nothing, there is no use case of chatbot which is outside the three of them, outside the three which is listed here: marketing, servicing, and operations. All kinds of chatbot uses, chatbots can be classified under these three categories. Of course, there can be fun, but we are not considering fun. As I said, we are considering only business areas. Fun and entertainment can be one another. Yeah. So moving on, how chatbots are used in marketing. So in marketing, as you all are digital marketers, I assume that there must be some basic understanding of a funnel, of a marketing funnel. So chatbots in marketing are used in all three sections, all three portions of a funnel. Like top of the funnel, you can do lead generation or lead qualification using chatbots. Middle of the funnel, you can do lead nurturing, and bottom of the funnel, you can ask user for a particular action. If they want to take, then the sales guy will take over, or they can even make payments using chatbots. Sales can happen over chatbot, or business can be closed over chatbot. So yes, all these three types, all the three sections of a funnel are covered by chatbots. So now there are different ways to use chatbot in each of this section. We will talk about it as we move ahead. Anyone has any questions regarding these three funnel types or funnel sections? Or can we move ahead? Let me bring the participants, and you can raise hands now, virtual hands. Okay, we can move ahead. Yeah, moving on to servicing. So when we talk about chatbots in servicing, there are like all these kinds of things where the chatbots can be used. So customer support is the number one. Everyone, so level one customer support, the first contact of the customer can be a bot to reduce cost, of course. So customer support can be automated using chatbots. Level one customer support, not level two. Level two will require human assistance. Notifications can be sent, reminders, account updates, auto replies. If someone messages us, then it will auto reply. And payment updates, balance inquiry, all those things are considered servicing. And all of you, I think, must have seen WhatsApp chatbots now. So every bank has a WhatsApp chatbot now. Every big brand like Domino's has a WhatsApp chatbot. Even stock market companies have WhatsApp chatbots now to give an update of daily transactions happening. Many brands even send invoices, like Book My Show will send you invoice. Nobody is using Book My Show nowadays, but yes, GoIbibo, Make My Trip, the travel sites send us tickets, send us invoices using WhatsApp chatbots. So all this is a part of the servicing section. Moving on, the third business area is operations. So yes, chatbots can be used under operations as well. Some of the examples given are like e-com orders. Business can decide to take orders using chatbots. Chatbots can be used as mobile app alternatives as well. Among them, certain use cases are like events RSVP. You create an event and you float out a chatbot to ask details of the guest. Suppose it is a great Indian wedding and there are like 1,000 people coming to that event. You can float out a chatbot to get RSVP and contact details of everyone. Instead of a boring Google form, this can be a good option. Next is next example is HR employee leave inquiry. So in certain middle size to high, big size, large size companies, people use HR software, HR based software. So that software can be connected with the chatbot so that employees can query query for how many leaves are remaining, how many casual leaves, paid leaves, all that leave data record can be maintained. So this is just an example. You can take any kind of management system and hook a chatbot to it. That's what basically operations mean. So you can, for example, the next example I mentioned is schools. So school management system can also be hooked to a chatbot to look up student data. So teachers can use it, parents can use it, students can use it themselves to check for their results, their marks, their schedule, timetable, all those things. Next is operations, like you can do mobile recharge, you can do ticket booking system, you can check for flights, you can check for buses, bus timings and all. So all kinds of things are possible using chatbots. The backend system, so I will go a bit in detail for the operations. So the backend system can remain the same. So the APIs will be required. APIs will still be required, but instead of a mobile app, one can opt to use a WhatsApp bot, because WhatsApp bot will be very easier to set up. It can get set up in like less than a month's time, even if it is a big project. And yeah, because the interface is fairly limited. You don't have to like design, you don't have to submit UI design, UX design, and then the changes are. So all those time-consuming tasks are not there in chatbots. It is a simple conversational mechanism. Can someone come up with some other creative examples of uses of chatbot under operations, which I haven't mentioned here? Anyone? Okay, there is a chat. Fitness industry, restaurant orders. Okay, Mohit, you can come on mic and explain how in fitness industry. Okay, never mind. We can move on. So yes, fitness industry, some examples, if I can think of, is so people can enroll into a gym, maybe using chatbots. They can make payments. There is another chat message. Food stores, yes, restaurant is already covered. Grocery stores are there. Supermarkets, yes. Yes, so people can enroll, people can book their slot when they will be visiting, like booking a session with the trainer as well in fitness industry. The gym can send them reminders. Gym can send them like food reminders, food updates. So many trainers have this habit of asking for what did you eat? Send me a picture of what did you eat. I certainly have experienced that because of my weight. So yes, the trainers ask for what did you eat. So the bot, that process can be automated using chatbots. Chatbot be used for daily fitness clients for nurturing them. Yes, exactly. It can be. Okay, so we move on. So yes, as discussed initially, we'll talk about web bots. So there are, I think every one of you must have seen what are web bots. To be clear, web bots are like the website widget, the small website widgets. So when we launched our platform back in 2017-18, this is what we do to explain people. Ki, if in Hindi, I may say that वो website के ऊपर जो छोटा सा box आता है chat वाला, we make that. So in English, it will be that small icon at the bottom right of the website is called a chatbot. Oh, okay, you make that. So that was a kind of response we used to get 2-3 years back. Yes, so that is one area where, so website widgets can also be used in multiple ways. Website widgets can be used for lead generation, they can be used for customer support, or they can be a mixture of both lead generation and customer support, depending on the type of flow you create. The website bot can greet you with, hi Pratik, how can I help you? And give 2-3 options. Or the website bot can have like only a lead magnet based on the content of your landing page. Suppose a landing page is like giving out lead magnets. So the bot can be the delivery mechanism of the lead magnet. The bot can take the data of the person and give out the PDF or video or whatever the lead magnet is. That's one way of using website widget as a lead generation mechanism. Second is customer support, of course. Live chat. So after level 1 customer support, you can redirect your customer to, I think, live chat, human handover, if the bot is not able to handle their queries. Moving on, next is landing page bots. So web bots can be a full page landing page bots as well. A good example is Landbot. Yes. So they only make full size landing page chatbots. Everything on that landing page is customizable. So how to use such landing page chatbots? Then it can be used in a few ways. So lead generation, you can keep the link of that landing page. You can use that link in your Facebook ad as a call to action. So when someone clicks on your ad, like clicking on learn more, it will open the chatbot. Similarly, while using Google Ads, you can do the same. Clicking on the link will open a chatbot. The benefit, I will dive a bit deep into that. The benefit of using the chatbot like that is, on a landing page, on a given landing page, you may not know where the users are dropping out. If suppose 2000 visitors, there are 2000 visitors on your landing page, but only like 20 of them have taken option of filling the contact form or whatever the call to action was. But whereas in a landing page bot, it is completely conversational model. The bot is driving the whole conversation. So you will get to know the detailed analytics, like where are the people dropping out? What is it that they didn't like to see on the bot? You can optimize that and check it out again, go back, run another campaign and check if that has improved. So it will give you a higher level of control over how your campaign is doing. So that is why that is how landing pages bots can be used. So that is the question, like a type form. Yes, like a type form. Yes, definitely. A chatbot can be a bit more complicated, I would rather say, than a type form. Yeah, so moving on, lead generation using SMS marketing. So SMS marketing is still alive in many countries apart from India. I'm sure Luis is here. He must be knowing scenario of Portugal. Yolanda is here. I think Spain as well. And I know for sure that Mexico is very high on SMS marketing still. So yes, you can include a URL of the chatbot in the landing page. You can include a URL of the chatbot in the SMS. And once the user clicks on that link, you can backtrack the mobile number of that particular user. So when someone open that link, you don't need to ask the user again, what was your name? So what was your number? No, Tanvi, it won't be possible to wrap in an hour, but let's see. We are recording the session. We are recording the session, so you can have the recording link anytime. So yes, SMS marketing, I was saying that you can broadcast a SMS marketing campaign with the chatbot URL. And once a user clicks that particular URL, you can backtrack the mobile number of the user. So when the chatbot conversation starts, you don't have to ask for the user's mobile number again. I know it is a bit difficult to digest. I'm trying to go as slow as possible. I will try to make another video showcasing this particular use case. Anyway, moving on. So operations, e-com orders. So e-com orders can be, let's split e-com orders into two parts, further two parts. So e-com orders can be full-fledged e-commerce, like where shipping is required. And secondly, retail orders. So bakery stores, the local stores, like local retail stores like bakeries, supermarket, grocery store, greengrocers, butcher shops, meat shops. All these users can also use a landing page chatbot to automate their ordering process. One negative point is you can't reach the user back at a later time using the same channel. So once they exit the chatbot, the conversation is gone. They reopen the chatbot and the new conversation will begin. We can definitely track that who has visited, but we cannot send them a customized message or personalized message at a later point. So any questions you might have regarding webbots, or we can move on? You can raise hands. Okay, let's move on. So moving on to WhatsApp bots. Now WhatsApp bots, there are certain pros and certain cons of using WhatsApp bots as well. Integrating the orders with the shipping company. Yes, that is possible using chatbots. That is possible using BotBaba as well. But the shipping company needs to have an open API so that we can push the order to that. Okay, so WhatsApp bots have certain pros and cons. The UI is fairly limited. It doesn't have buttons. It does have buttons, but buttons are fairly limited. We will talk about it as we move ahead. Then, so I have the negative points mentioned here. Limited UI components, difficult to maintain a good user experience. I think user experience in a conversation is the most important part of a chatbot experience. The positive point I have not mentioned in here is when you use a WhatsApp bot in any of your marketing funnel, like any portion of the marketing funnel, you can automatically get the mobile number or name of the particular user who is chatting with you. So you don't need to ask for the name again. And I think the name and number are definitely very valuable. You can run a lookalike, you can create a lookalike audience, and you can run ads, different types of ads on that. You can expand your audience base. Yes, that's the best part about using WhatsApp bots. So the easiest way to close, I think, a WhatsApp bot client will be recommending them to use WhatsApp bot at the top of their funnel to generate leads. So that can be your entry point. And as we move on, as the client gets some level of success, you can also insert WhatsApp bots in lead nurturing and finally in sales as well. Yeah, so what all things are possible using WhatsApp bot? So it can be used as a website widget as well, very similar to the web bot. And as similar to WebBot, it can generate leads and can be also used for customer support. One drawback, or rather say one limitation you need to keep in mind is, if it is possible, only display the WhatsApp bot link, WhatsApp bot widget on a mobile site. Because on a desktop site, when they click the WhatsApp icon, it will try to open it in WhatsApp web, and not everyone is logged into WhatsApp web. So there are certain scripts the developers can do something like this, that if a user is logged in from mobile, then you show them WhatsApp bot widget, and if they are from desktop, you can show them the web bot widget. That's how you can segregate, but you will need developer support for that. As a CTA customer support, as a CTA in ads, lead generation, Facebook. So Facebook, if you run certain types of Facebook campaigns, you will see WhatsApp as a call to action. I know for sure that the traffic type of campaign surely has a WhatsApp or message on WhatsApp as a call to action. And in Google Ads, you can use the link, the WhatsApp link as the wa.me link as the call to action. So you will get the lead data right away as soon as someone clicks and sends the first message. So exactly that. This is what I mean by using top of the funnel. So you can use them in different types of ads and make money for your clients. Third is delivery channel for lead magnets. So you can have a landing page. There are n number of things you can do with the chatbot. These are the top 7 which came to my mind while preparing the presentation. And number third is delivery channel for lead magnet. So you can have a landing page. You can take the mobile number of the user on the landing page, and you can tell them there that we will be sending you a WhatsApp message with the so and so lead magnet. It can be a PDF, it can be a video. So please enter your correct WhatsApp number. Alternatively, you can ask them to WhatsApp us to get the lead magnet. That will save you some template message charges. Yeah, we will see what are template message charges moving on. Fourth is nurturing using drip campaigns. So yes, this is very powerful. Once you have onboarded a client using the top of the funnel technique, using chatbots, WhatsApp chatbots and lead generation, you can move on slowly to the nurturing part as well. You can send some selected template messages to the user, to the leads, and get them to reply you back so that they can push further content. I have mentioned some scenarios later in the presentation. We will cover this. So this is very similar to email marketing drip campaign. So a person subscribes to you, you send them a particular welcome email at the same time, then wait for 6 hours or 12 hours, then send another email, then 2 days back, 2 days later, another email. So WhatsApp will work similar way, but with some restrictions. You can use WhatsApp bot to send invoices, shipping, delivery updates, as we saw in notifications. You can use WhatsApp bots for asking for feedback. So this is specifically, okay, when I wrote this, I had e-commerce in my mind, but as I was going to speak, how to create drip campaigns using which platform or service. We will talk about it later. We have a Q&A section. Okay, so asking for feedback, yes. So you can, if you are running an e-commerce store, you can ask for feedback. How was the product? How was the experience? If you are delivering services, still you can ask for feedback. Feedback is, I think, a common scenario where you have sold a product or service to a client, a post-selling experience. And you can upsell using WhatsApp bots as well. Suppose a particular person has bought a certain pairs of shoes from the e-commerce store, then you can upsell them for buying socks later on. Something like that. So any other scenario anyone has in mind? Let me check the time right now. Time is 2:41. Would anyone like to share any other scenario which I have not covered here? Okay, never mind. We move on. So things required to create a WhatsApp chatbot. So first of all, we need a WhatsApp API. And second thing we need is a chatbot builder platform. So for WhatsApp API, there are further 2 requirements. You need to get your FB Business Manager verified. And second point is WhatsApp account creation. And secondly, you need to have a chatbot builder platform to create a WhatsApp chatbot. Alternatively, you can also hire a developer to create a WhatsApp chatbot for you, specifically custom made. That will be a bit more costly and bit more costly to even maintain as well, because you will be paying a developer specifically for getting your thing done. But that is also an option. So when we deal with certain clients, they show us chatbots of like Voltas, they show us chatbots of LG, and they ask us, okay, why is this particular thing possible in this chatbot and why is it not possible in your chatbot? So this is the reason for that. They are using, maybe their chatbot is like custom made as per their requirement. So that is why that particular thing is possible in the chatbot and not our. We have a standard mechanism to follow. Any kind of chatbot platform will have certain limitations on how it does things. And we have documentation for to cover this. If anyone wants links for getting the WhatsApp chatbot, like getting the WhatsApp API, they can contact me. I can share the links for that. And chatbot builder platform, there are many now. Chatrace, BotBaba, Landbot. ManyChat also has a WhatsApp bot now. Okay, moving on. Message types in WhatsApp API. There are two types of messages in WhatsApp API when you use a chatbot. First is session message, second is template messages. What is session message? There is a message. Okay. Session message is when the user sends a message to the bot, that is a session message. So the conversation which is initiated by the user is called a session message. Rules is bot can reply anything if a user sends a message, sends the first message, and the session duration is 24 hours from the last message of the user. The session window will close in 24 hours. So I think that is the best time to run your drip campaigns on WhatsApp chatbot. After that, after 24 hours, there are still people joining. Let me, yeah. After 24 hours, what you can do is you can send them template messages. The message sent from the bot to the user, which is outside the 24-hour session message window, is called a template message. Some examples of template message are like make my trip, go Ibibo. When you book a ticket or you book a flight ticket, book a hotel, you get a WhatsApp instantly. You order from Amazon, I think you get WhatsApp instantly. So all those are examples of template messages. The rules here are template message need to be pre-approved by WhatsApp. You cannot send any kind of content like whatever you choose in a template message. Second is hence, since the WhatsApp, the message you will be sending is pre-approved by WhatsApp, you will not be able to send promotional messages. WhatsApp doesn't want people to use the WhatsApp official business API as a spamming tool. That is the reason it has barred people from sending any and all kinds of messages outside the 24-hour window. If a user messages you, then good, go ahead, knock yourself out. If the user doesn't message back to extend the 24-hour window, then your window will get over and you will need to again re-engage them to have that window open. Any questions here or is it clear? I think this is the most complicated thing in WhatsApp chatbots. Many people don't understand it very well. Okay, you can type in your questions. I have a question. Is there an OTN for WhatsApp? No, there is no OTN for WhatsApp. You can just use template message. So OTN, what he is referring to is used in Facebook messages, Facebook Messenger bots, but it is not there in WhatsApp. You can instead send template messages any number of times as you want. OTN means one-time notification, but there is no such thing as OTN on WhatsApp. Yeah, template message is cool. So additional rule, yes, if the user replies to a template message, then onwards session window will open. So imagine a scenario where you initiated, like you asked for feedback to a user and the user gave you an honest feedback. As soon as they send the message of the feedback, the session window will again open and you can send promotions after that. it don't have button, right? Same like Telegram. Template messages do have buttons, but only template messages have buttons, and you need to get that template approved by WhatsApp. After that, it will be shown to the user. The template messages with buttons can also be used within a session, and the charges will be same as session, and it will not be charged as a template message. Let me put it this way. If the session is already on and you are sending the user a template message, then you won't be charged for a template message. You are only charged for the template message when the session window is closed. So yeah, if the user replies to a template message, session window opens. Now, some best practices when you are using WhatsApp chatbot: don't send unwarranted messages, unwelcome messages rather. Don't send too many messages. WhatsApp is a personal space of the user. Respect that. So yes, so every brand was dying to get on WhatsApp because WhatsApp is being used by so many users across the world. As soon as WhatsApp opened up their official business API, so many brands hopped in, and they use WhatsApp for all kinds of things. But WhatsApp is still a personal space. Let's keep it that way. Don't spam too much. Even during the session, even when the session is active, space out your drip campaign such that the user is not pissed. If he starts blocking you, then your the quality rating will go down. Your number won't get banned instantly, as in the case of like unofficial APIs, but still, it is not cool to get blocked by so many users. So don't send too many messages. We want to use WhatsApp as a business tool. So let's keep it that way so that WhatsApp doesn't change some policies and restricts it further. Keep the content highly engaging. You can run contests, maybe. You can run quizzes on chatbot, on WhatsApp bot, to keep them so that they reply, to extend the window as well. Contest or quizzes will do a good job, I think. Give a ton of value to keep them from locking you. So this happens with me very often. Let's take an example of an email marketing campaign. I am subscribed to like a few email lists which provide a lot of value. Their emails are as frequent as one in a day. They send me email every day. I may not read them every day, but I don't unsubscribe that list, because in my mind, in the back of my mind, I am like, okay, I will read all these emails over the weekend, or I will read them at this time, at that time, but I don't unsubscribe that list. So if someone is providing value to the users won't block you. They will want all the content to come in. There is no guarantee that they will read your content. They will respond to that content, but they won't block you if you are providing a ton of value. Next is always try to get a reply of the template message to initiate the session, so you can promote, upsell, offer discount, and much more. So guys, we have been spoiled by SMS marketing a lot. I see many agencies, many businesses still using WhatsApp as a spamming tool. That doesn't pan out too great, because if your client is trying to establish a brand, then I think he won't like his broadcast messages being sent from a different number every time, because when you spam, your number gets banned using the unofficial API. So let's do it the authentic way. Authentic way is to send them template messages, keeping it relevant. And the template messages, the content of the template messages should be such that the user is like tempted to reply. I will give you a big tip here. Always use buttons in the template messages so that it is easier to click. You are not asking the user to type in anything, and buttons are still a novelty on WhatsApp. So there are so many users who see a button and they want to click it. As soon as they click, the session window opens up and you can send your promotional content or like that. There is a message. Is there an option where we can filter out the replied message and return from template message? I think this is very specific to a chatbot platform. We can talk it. We can talk it later. We can talk about it offline. I think any way to nurture email leads. If I have their WhatsApp number, any way to nurture them through email. If you have their WhatsApp number, what I used to do, we can, yes, we can run email marketing campaigns. We can run email marketing campaigns, and we can keep a call to action in that email as like WhatsApp us to get this content. It can be a lead generation. It can be a lead magnet email as well for that matter. WhatsApp us to get this content, something like that to bring that from email to your WhatsApp. Yeah, I think what I shared, you can do something like that. Give them a good reason to click that link, and they will be on your WhatsApp. Are there any questions here, or we move on? Okay, you can raise hands. Okay, moving on. Some additional information regarding WhatsApp. So WhatsApp APIs are being provided by not WhatsApp directly, but by WhatsApp BSPs. BSP stands for Business Solution Provider. They are assigned by WhatsApp as a BSP to host your WhatsApp accounts. So as you notice, the way WhatsApp works is all the data resides in your handset. So in order to have a WhatsApp API connected to a particular number, you need to host that WhatsApp account somewhere. And WhatsApp is not hosting the accounts because there are like billions of accounts right now. So WhatsApp has designated like around 70 to 75 handpicked BSPs across the world to do that kind of work. The hosting charges are independent of what WhatsApp charges. So these BSPs charge additionally for hosting your WhatsApp account, WhatsApp API accounts. There are server charges involved. Now the pricing may differ BSP to BSP, but there will be definitely be some kind of charges based on the particular model. WhatBaba is on the road to become a BSP in the next 12 months. So yeah, we are going for that. Any questions regarding BSP? This is like most asked, most queried question, or queried section rather. Okay. How to set up a template message in BotBaba once it's approved. This is very specific to BotBaba. We can talk about it later offline. Okay, clarification on WhatsApp pricing. There are different models of different BSPs. Depending on which BSP you choose, the pricing will differ as per that. The two models which are highly used is per message pricing model and fixed monthly pricing. Now the WhatsApp only charges, WhatsApp, the business, the Facebook owned entity, WhatsApp only charges for template messages, which is around 32 paisa per message when you send a message to a WhatsApp user in India. If you send a message to WhatsApp user abroad, the charges will differ. And there is a pricing schedule, the official pricing schedule for that on, if you Google like Facebook, WhatsApp pricing. Is there a question, Ijmal? Okay, I'm going to mute him. So different models. different models, per message pricing and fixed monthly pricing. WhatsApp only charges for template messages. It doesn't charge for session messages at all. The BSPs who charge for session messages are charging it themselves. There is no WhatsApp fees involved there. The remaining charges are for BSP fees and chatbot platform fees. So this is all which consists of a WhatsApp chatbot. The pricing contains like WhatsApp fees for template messages, the BSP fees, and the chatbot platform fees. There are 3 sections to that. Moving on. So this is very specific to BotBaba again. Gupshup, there is a BSP called Gupshup, which offers per message pricing. The session messages are charged at 8 paisa per message in Indian rupees, which is around 0.0001 dollars per message, I think, yes. And template messages are charged at 0.005 USD per message. In Indian rupees, it is 55 paisa per message. There are no starting costs, there are no upfront cost of any kind when you are using Gupshup. It is completely pay-as-you-go model. Second is the private BSP, which we offer. We have partnered with. They charge a $30 fixed monthly pricing. The session messages are free and unlimited in this plan, and the template messages are 32 paisa per message, which is as per actual. Our session service can be used for broadcast. No, session messages cannot be used for broadcast. They are meant for completely inbound conversations. So if your use case is like customer support, I would say go ahead with this private BSP. Session messages are unlimited and session messages are all you will need at a fixed pricing. If your use case is customer support, then imagine using Gupshup for that. Per message pricing and session messages pricing will go, I don't know, beyond 50 USD or 100 USD depending on the volume. And secondly, even if so there is a basic thumb rule. If your monthly cost is going beyond 30 USD in Gupshup, you are better off with this private BSP. That's all. And there are so many other BSPs as well apart from this, but I have mentioned these 2 not because we are integrated, but because these are the 2 like highly used and best priced BSPs. There are certain BSPs which charge around 50 USD per month. There is Wati, WATI. I think every one of us here must have seen Wati's Facebook ads. And let me tell you, they are providing 12 months free, but with the limited session messages per month, limited messages per month. There is some limitation. And even in their paid model, they are charging $49 per message, and session messages are only 15,000 per month. So once session messages 15,000 are over, they will bill you on top of it. Is it easy to move from Gupshup to private BSP for multiple bots? The BSP portability is scheduled to come in June sometime. So people who have Gupshup will be able to move to private BSP in 15-20 days time. And similarly, vice versa also. Once the BSP, yes, Wati is a BSP. Yeah, and the BSP portability will work both ways. So you can move from private BSP to Gupshup as well and Gupshup to private BSP as well. For that matter, any kind of BSP you can tie up with. If your volumes are huge, that's how they control the messages, yes. If the volumes are huge and like 300K or 500K messages per month, then you are better off exploring some other options in the market. Okay, moving on. A recommendation, go with the private BSP for the long run. It gives you, if you are planning to go for a long run, then rather go with the private BSP, not with Gupshup. Reasons, it gives you freedom to run inbound campaigns without worrying about the cost. You can set up a Facebook ad, run set WhatsApp us as the call to action and run run the ads for like any kind of budget, and you don't need to worry about the cost. Template messages are charged as per actual. It's cheaper when you scale, and is the cheapest among all BSP because of our volume-based partnership. So we have partnered with that BSP. That is why we are getting this pricing. We have committed them a particular number of accounts, so they have given us preferential pricing. Live client analysis. Yes, so in this section, I was going to showcase a scenario where we pick a client from any random industry and we list down where all the chatbots can be inserted. Web and WhatsApp, keeping it limited to only web and WhatsApp bots. So would anyone of you here like to share their client for which they want to explore some solution? I will give preference to Jamia's team first. Raisin. Varsha, can you give some background, like what does Raisin do? Which industry they are from?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's an Indian brand. It started 3 years ago. It's if I would say a competitor of it would be W Global Desi. So basically, it's a fashion brand, contemporary fusion fashion, which is sort of semi-ethnic fashion brand. And for that, I would want to do this exercise.
Okay, and they have an e-commerce store?
Yes, they do. They are also available on Myntra, Ajio, Amazon.
Okay, so they are on marketplaces as well as they have their own store.
Yes, and they are also available offline, but obviously we're just talking online. So yeah.
No, let's consider offline as well.
Yes, they have around over 200 stores across the country, and SIS plus MBOs, and they have around 5 to 6 EBOs across the country.
Okay, and their e-commerce website is based on which platform, if you can share? Is it custom made Shopify or WooCommerce?
Shopify.
It's on Shopify.
Yeah.
Okay, let me note down some facts. Brand with 200 offline stores. Shopify is on marketplaces as well. The 200 offline stores which you mentioned, they are all in which type of cities? So in metros or tier 2, tier 3, tier 4?
Most of them are in tier 2 and tier 3, but there are some proper ones in tier 1 cities as well. And EBOs, most of them are in tier 2. But obviously there's plans of expansion, but as of now, this is.
Okay. So I see that one thing they can do is they can start with sending out order notifications from their Shopify store to their customers, Shopify stores to their buyers. Whoever is buying, they can send WhatsApp notifications to them. Thank you for placing an order. Store owners to their buyers, order notification. On top of it, they can also include cart abandonment. So if any user abandons their Shopify cart, you can send them a WhatsApp message to bring them back within 30-40 minutes. You can send them shipping messages as well. And you can send them feedback messages. Now, in all 4 types of messages, we can design the content such that they are bound to reply. It can be a button as simple as saying thank you. So a sample message would be like, hey Pratik, your order is being shipped out using FedEx Courier and the tracking number is so and so. and there will be two buttons beneath that, which says, one says thank you, the other one says I have a query. So if they don't have a query, they would either press thank you, and that will activate the session for upselling. The next message can be, if they select thank you, then the next message can be, you can initiate a drip campaign, like in 3 hours time. Since the session is now active, in 3 hours time, you can send them another message, which will say get 5% off on your next order using XYZ coupon. So certain upselling mechanisms can be made possible. Similarly, you can do upselling in all 4 types of notification. Order notification, so you have bought XYZ product. Would you like to, so the one example I gave earlier, if the buyer has bought shoes, you can upsell them to buy socks, the connected products, related products. In cart abandon, you cannot upsell because the sale has not happened yet. But yes, you can, if you send cart abandon messages, and the recovery rate is very high if you send them WhatsApp message. So this was one thing. You can set up a WhatsApp bot with Shopify store, which does all these things. Secondly, you can choose to have a web bot on the Shopify store as well. Web or WhatsApp, you can choose from any. They can be interchangeably used here. And the website bot on Shopify will be providing customer support, the level 1 support. So the users can check their order status, maybe. What is the status of their order? When will it be shipped? So all those can be looked up if we integrate a chatbot in the Shopify store. Some FAQs can also be integrated there. And if the bot is not able to handle the queries, it can be redirected to a live chat agent. So first one was connect Shopify plus WhatsApp for notification. Second is Shopify plus website bot for customer support. The Shopify plus website bot for customer support can also be used in terms of, suppose a user is on the checkout page and they are not proceeding ahead. Maybe they received a phone call and they got busy for like 30 minutes and the payment is still pending. The website bot can track this delay, that they have been on this page in the last 15-20 minutes, and they can trigger a notification. The web bot can trigger a notification. This can only be possible using the web bot and not the WhatsApp bot. So the web bot can draw attention to that particular tab, that I am still there, you need to complete the order. The bot can send a message saying like, is there something I can help you with? I see that you have not made the payment. My phone's Google thought I called him. Yeah, so yeah, I broke the chain of thought. Yes, the user is on the checkout page and they're not completing the payment. The web bot will pop up and say, and bring the attention back to that particular tab to complete for the user to complete the payment, so that the cart is not abandoned. That is another level which can be done. The offline stores, the WhatsApp bot can again be used there as well. I think if they have like 200 plus offline store, they must be using some kind of online billing solution to generate invoices. Are you aware?
Actually, the thing is that these shop and shop stores are the kinds, they are also available in stores like Central, which are like,
Okay.
Definitely, digitized. But then there are, in tier 2 cities, you will find a popular local store where there are a lot of brands that are aspirational for those people. So usme it really depends on how the shop owners are managing the billing. So it's not completely, I can say, would be in our control.
So the brand doesn't get the data basically.
Data, yes, whichever is needed for understanding of sales, etc., for sure. But you wouldn't know all the things that are happening in all these stores, is what I'm saying.
Okay, never mind. So I think targeting those users will be very, very difficult. So we leave that part out. I'm sure if they are on marketplaces, they must be having the email list of these users. So,
Actually, yeah, there was one of the things that we have been wanting to try was to get the data of these people through either, giving them some sort of incentive to give us emails or phone numbers, like the shop owners can take them and give to the brand, or perhaps some or the other way, perhaps a scan code to get them on a link, etc. So yeah, those things are in place, in work in progress. So I guess then what you suggest is
WhatsApp
going to
can be
help.
used, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can use that to get their data. Next thing was that they're on marketplaces. So what kind of data does the brand get from these marketplaces like Myntra and other Amazon?
I'm actually, I wouldn't know about it that much because
Okay.
that is not something that I directly look into.
Okay.
But as far as I'm aware, we don't really get email IDs or the details of the people who order. I believe that.
Okay, no problem. I think not from Myntra you don't get, but Amazon definitely shares some data because whenever I place an order, I get messages from the seller as well.
All right, all right. Then there must be. Oh, definitely. I don't look into it very directly, so I
No
wouldn't be
problem,
the
no
right
problem.
person to answer this question.
No problem. So yes, we can use their contact data to reach them out. Very similar to as what we do for Shopify. On placing a not successful order, there is a message which goes to the customer on WhatsApp. The same can be replicated if you are using marketplace stores like Amazon and others. And on top of it, the brand can also do some kind of activities in tier 3 and tier 4 cities where the using WhatsApp, using web chatbots or WhatsApp e-commerce chatbot. So the thing with the thing with chatbot based ordering system is that a person, however technically behind it may be, they are able to understand how the chatbot works because they just have to answer the instruction, they just have to follow the instructions. So order making process gets really simple even using a chatbot. So there is a new segment which can get opened if the brands start using chatbots for tier 3 and tier 4 cities. Was that clear? I think it was too complicated.
No, for sure. I get it. Definitely.
Okay, so these are the 3-4 things which can be done, and similarly, the web bot can be integrated. The WhatsApp bot can also connect to the chatbot store. So it will be like if any user directly messages that particular brand, then there will be 3-4 options listed for the user. 1, place an order. 2, check status of your order. 3, customer support. 4, FAQs. 5, store locations, where to buy, things like that. About us, maybe. So something like that can be done, and that can be marketed as well. You can run a Facebook ad campaign using that particular chatbot. You can drive traffic to it. That will help you collect data, and the people who order, you can create a lookalike audience and scale. Okay, I think that's all. Let me go back to the sheet. Yeah, questions, anyone? Or we can do another client analysis from other niche. Another client analysis. Okay, can anyone suggest something? A live client which you are thinking to pitch WhatsApp chatbots or any kind of chatbots to? Yeah, my client is big supermarket receiving hundreds of orders on WhatsApp every day. Client is big supermarket, receiving hundreds of orders on WhatsApp every day. You can simply have a e-com WhatsApp chatbot to automate that process. Yes, sure. Go ahead, Varsha. How about NGO and automating sending ATG? Automating sending ATG definitely can be done, but they need to have a backend system to support this kind of thing. So WhatsApp can fetch data. The chatbots can fetch data from a system and send to recipients.
Hi, Pratik. Ripin here. I've been.
Yes, hi, Ripin.
So yeah, I've onboarded this NGO client just recently, and we're looking to onboard them for ads. We're in the business manager verification. I'll reach out to you. I have some doubts on that. I'll reach out to you offline, but they do have some sort of system where ATG is manually created right now, but they're looking to automate that process. So I guess the process when the developer team develops the automating the process is wondering how we can bring that into WhatsApp.
Yeah, so a notification can be sent. So there are two different approaches here. First one is sending out notifications. As soon as ATG is generated, sending out WhatsApp notification is very similar to sending out an SMS notification.
Mm-hmm.
In both cases, there is an API call involved.
Mm-hmm.
The developer just needs to replace the SMS API with the WhatsApp API.
Understood.
And second approach is the recipient can look up their ATG status, whether the certificate is uploaded or not, and they can obtain it using the chatbot.
Okay. So that's something that I'll be reaching out to you once they automate the whole ATG process. Right now it's manually done, and but they're looking to expand quite rapidly into multiple cities. So they have to automate a lot of their systems into place as well.
Okay, that's great. Okay, anyone else? Otherwise, Varsha is waiting. Can WhatsApp be connected if the client has an app-only store? Yes, definitely. If the client has an app-only store, then they can connect WhatsApp chatbot using the APIs. We or any kind of platform will have APIs to support that use case. Okay, Varsha, I think you can go ahead with your client.
Okay. So there's another client which is Muvin. It's actually a sustainable, clothing brand, and the price point is also obviously when we talk about sustainability, the price point also comes in that area, and it is trying to be a brand which is sure niche because of the kind of clothing that it delivers, but wants to be on the accepted choice of fashion side. Slowly trying to build into that. It's a fairly new brand and very dominant on social media. Through social media and e-com and their own website, they are trying to expand into being available in Amazon and other platforms. But as of now, it's the website only. Now, what you explained for reason, and all the things that you've answered here with multiple questions, kind of go in this one as well. I get it, but since the fact, do you think anything that can be done with the use of these services that can help people get interested in a topic which is not really, uh, you know, uh, tapped into yet? Like a lot of people don't care about sustainable fashion choices, etc. So is this a way we can bring some sort of
Awareness.
awareness and hopefully sales? Do you have some strategies or some ideas for those that
Yes,
problem?
so this is again not connected to chatbots, but I will still answer it because many of the marketers will be interested. So there is some kind of thing required called as belief shifting. The belief shift needs to happen in order to get interested into something new. there are certain set of beliefs which need to be established in your audience in order for them to see you as a choice. Okay, so in your case, the chatbot mechanism can be definitely be used to create those kinds of beliefs. So you put out content, you strategize your content marketing policy such that which can inculcate those beliefs, and the medium can be WhatsApp. So you need to really create a detailed campaign to make it happen. It is definitely possible, but it will take some time.
Right. So it's more like how you use these for the content you want to put out rather than direct a chatbot.
Exactly.
Right. I get it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, let me look into some of our clients which we have served as agency. Yes, I think Ganesh, can you bring up your niche or your client up? I think many of us will be interested in understanding that niche as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I have been associated with BotBaba from the month of February. So February was the time when I started implementing the BotBaba platform. So my first use case was my client was conducting regular webinars. Okay, so I think most of you are aware SMS marketing is almost dead now because of the regular template approval at each stage. That is, in India, if you want to send an SMS to a lot of people, every template has to be approved every single time. Like today, if I want to conduct a webinar, I have to get it approved. Tomorrow, again, I have to get it approved. So it is a big hassle. So what we thought is integrated BotBaba with the WhatsApp API using Gupshup. So what we did was whenever we did our marketing, we had a landing page. We told the students, basically it's a coaching institution. So we told the students, please sign up the form, and we will, send you the WhatsApp message. So everything was permission-based marketing. So we took their permission, and we started, using BotBaba to send the template message. So initially, I tested with the plain template message, saying that today the webinar on so and so topic will be held. Please attend. So what happened was there was no response. Like some people used to reply and some people just ignored it. So then came the button part. So we started testing the button part, and you won't believe it. As soon as I sent the template message, people used to hit the button because it is tempting. I assume, people have the tendency to press the button. So people instantly press the button, and we started getting 100% response for our webinar. Every day we had on our webinars 100 out of 100 members. Like initially we had the capacity of only 100 members in our Zoom platform, and client upgraded it to 500 so that we could accommodate like 200 300 people more. So that could happen only because of this WhatsApp, in my opinion, because email, whenever we sent out email, we had around maximum 30% open rate. So before bringing WhatsApp into our webinar funnel, we had around 40-50 members attending the webinar only because we could not reach them on time. So with template message, what we did was just before 10 minutes, we used to send out the template message. People used to hit the button, and as soon as the webinar starts, that is exactly, say if the webinar is held at 6 p.m, so 5:50 I shot the template message. Exactly at 6 p.m, we used to say we have just started the webinar. So we got 100 out of 100. Every webinar we started getting 100% of our audience. So this was one use case. And second use case was, like, after this became successful, the second use case, we are just testing it as of now, but so far it is amazingly worked out very well for me. What we did was, so that was for webinar, and we created a second WhatsApp with the help of BotBaba only, of course. And in this particular bot, what we did was we changed the strategy. We thought we'll keep this only for inbound, 100% inbound, and specifically to sell our ebooks and then upsell to courses. Okay. So what we did was we started advertising saying that, come, we are going to give you a monthly magazine. So we have launched a new monthly magazine and you can take it for free. So what we did was, as soon as the person will see that free magazine, he'll just enter. He'll send the message, and as soon as he will send the hi, hello, hi or hello, anything, the flow will trigger. So as soon as he types hi or hello, our first free message will come out. Okay, so in the free message, we just give a link for the Google Drive, so that instantly he can see the material. Okay, so Google Drive, and he'll just check the material, and below that we've just set out the value what exactly you will get. Okay, and then a call to action to buy this particular course. So he will just read the message. He will just see the free sample ebook that we are giving, and the purchase link was priced at 100 rupees or somewhere around 100 rupees. And within the span of let's say 5-6 days, the free link, like see, inside the WhatsApp you can't actually track who exactly is taking the free ebook. So what we wanted was, we did not want to create a hassle of again taking them back to a landing page and making them collect the data, because we just didn't want to complicate the customer journey. So we were just tracking 300. I mean, this is the number that I'm telling. Just few hours back I was just checking. We got around 370 members taking the free copy, and we have their phone number and name by default, because as soon as they start commenting, the chatbot will capture their name and number by default from WhatsApp. So we have their name, number, and we know that 350 members have downloaded the free copy, and after seeing the free copy, around 170 people have purchased the ebook, plain from WhatsApp bot, without any other marketing. I mean, with other marketing, we've sold around 500 copies, but specifically with this model that we are testing, the traffic is 100% inbound from YouTube channel and Telegram and wherever we have traffic sources. So this is the sale. And as soon as they reply something, like whatever they reply, they'll get the second flow. That is, we are selling our courses. So that again, we are following the same model. And for the following message, we got around 120, 130 signups. So, this model of inbound traffic is becoming successful for us. And webinar, I mean, it is successful. So this was my experience with BotBaba. I think people should try it out, because I started trying it recently.
Ganesh, we are not promoting BotBaba here.
No, I'm just.
Although I would love, I appreciate your love for us, but I guess this is not the right forum.
Right. So this is the thing. For any education clients, I think WhatsApp is a very good medium to test it out, because at least in India, I'm not aware about the other countries, but in India, people tend to, especially in the education niche, students are more oriented towards WhatsApp than Facebook Messenger or any other form of marketing. So I think WhatsApp is a good this one for education purpose. It's good. I mean, This is my experience.
Thank you, Ganesh, for sharing that. So yes, education industry is going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry very, very soon. The trend is picking up in US and the developed countries, rather say. And in India also, we have so many coaches now. So this model is definitely, so thanks to the pandemic, people have learned to do webinars. They are doing free webinar. There are certain kind of funnels. I am sure, very sure, you must all have attended webinars during the lockdown period. So they call you to a free webinar, then they give out value to you, a free value to you, and then they upsell. So in all this, in this particular funnel, you can use WhatsApp chatbot. That's what he was explaining. Is that clear, Mohit? Okay. All right. If there are no more questions, we can end this session. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming in such a short notice. It was like just 20 minutes before I posted in the group, and to get you all here is so flattering, so amazing. Yeah, welcome, Varsha. All right, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.